And we're back. I went back to the dormitory and someone called out to me when I was at the gate.
Aoi.
Anshan. When I saw who it was, my level of enthusiasm went up by 500%. Standing there was Anshan. I was thinking about going to see you tomorrow or something.
お前に早く会いたくて仕事抜けてきちまった。久しぶりだな、葵。
Anshan ruffles my hair. Hey, stop that, will ya? Completely ignoring my attempts to resist, Anshan gives me a noogie, grinding my hair round and round. I think that my hair is probably messed up pretty badly now. This is Tatsuya Igarashi, commonly known as Anshan. He's a childhood friend of Ageha and mine, and is like a real big brother to us. He's much older than us, but we used to play together a lot as kids. Ah, jeez, you're messing up my hair.
悪い。昔を思い出してついな。
You haven't changed either, Anshan. Still the same as before.
おいおい、それ褒め言葉じゃないぞ。
Oh, isn't it?
そうさ。人は一ところに停滞してちゃいけない。変わっていくもんだ。
What Anshan says is true, but personally I'd rather him stay the way he is now. As I think about that, Anshan all of a sudden has a kind look on his face.
もういいのか。
Ah, yeah, well, enough for everyday life.
そうか。大変だったな。
It's no big deal. I can have a normal life like this. On top of that, I had you there to watch me in the race, where I tried the hardest.
あれはいいレースだったな。表彰台に乗ったお前、かっこよかったぞ。
I came third, though. I was in the cycle racing club in my last school. During the final race of my freshman year, I managed to win from third place a spot on the podium. It was my greatest achievement. For that race, Anshan traveled a long way to come and watch me.
3位でも立派だ。
Yeah. Because of Anshan's kindness, I felt a little tearful. He sensed how I was feeling and started to mess up my hair again. This time it wasn't so rough.
今はここの寮母をやってるんだってな。
Yeah.
飛び魚そうか。懐かしいな。
We used to play here a lot. We would come sneaking in.
ああ、そうだったな。
That wasn't what Anshan was talking about just now.
ところで、あの子もここの寮生か？
Someone was hiding in the shadow of the gate. Oh, Kotori. Looked like she couldn't get past because Anshan and I were in the way. She could have just spoke to us normally, but instead she was hiding and watching us.
こんにちは、お嬢さん。
こんにちは。
Kotori was still being cautious, but returned the greeting. Then we got out of her way, and she went into her composed mode and entered the dormitory.
あの子、ここの子だったのか。
You know her?
ああ、時々街で見かける。うちの工場の近くにでかい犬がいるだろう。
Pedigree? There's a big dog that goes by that name. Pretty sure it was the Saint Bernard. Oh, those are
昨日
awesome.
はペディグリーの近くをうろうろしてたな。
Was she by any chance trying to stroke his head?
ああ、そんな感じだった。食い物をあげたりしてたんだが、あの犬、飼い主の餌以外食べないからな。
As I thought. That was in the things I want to do list. Stroke the head of the big dog in the neighborhood. It's really scary, but it might be unexpectedly friendly. If possible, I'd like to ride around on its back. Saint Bernards do not look scary at all. So she was skipping school to go and do things like that? Well, forget about Kotori for
と
now.
にかく、おかえり、葵。
Yeah, it's good to be back, Anshan. I seemed a little embarrassed as I answered, and Anshan grinned at me.
困ったことがあったら遠慮なく頼れ。俺はお前らのあんちゃんなんだからな。
Parting with those words, Anshan turned to leave. Oh, that's right, Anshan. I know this is a bit soon, but I have a favor to ask. Took the parts that Amane had left with me out of my bag. Along with it was a memo with the dimensions and so on written down. I need some parts that are the same as these. Would you be able to get one? Anshan's family runs a factory. It's known as a town factory, and it seems that they manufacture special order-made parts. Anshan works there right now. If Anshan can't do it, he might be able to use his connections with other engineers to introduce me to other factories. Anshan looks at the broken parts in the memo.
ダイヤフラムか。 ああ、いいぞ。
He quickly answered.
手に入ったら連絡する。
Oh, thanks, Anchan.
いいって。
Anchan raised one hand and turned to leave. Who keeps their bike in their room? Thanks to the fact that I was able to meet Anchan, I went back to my room in a good mood. I put my hand on the saddle of the bicycle in the corner of my room. Proud to have been able to stand on the podium in front of a buddy like Anchan.
高そうな自転車ね。
Before I realized Kotori was next to me. What are you doing in here?
さっき一緒に入ってきたの気づいてなかったの？
No, I hadn't realized. Do you want some? Without answering my question, Kotori opened a drawer in the desk.
ここね。違った。
Wait, a drawer in the desk? There's not even any room for drawers on that desk.
こっちかしら。
So she's searching for something.
ない。おかしい。絶対持ってるはずなのに。
There was nothing that I didn't want her to see, so I was unfazed when I questioned her. What are you doing?
探し物よ。見てわかるでしょ？
I know, but shouldn't you at least get the consent of the owner of the room?
あなたこそ早く返しなさいよ。持ってるのわかってるのよ。
Got what?
だから。
Apparently she was looking for the withdrawal notice that I had picked up before. I don't know what you're looking for, but I don't think it's in here.
言い方が怪しい。絶対持ってるに違いないんだから。
Did you say something?
別に。
Oh, looked like her search came to a close. Kotori didn't leave the room, instead opting to keep looking around instead.
私、男の子の部屋に入るなんて初めて。結構片付いてるのね。もっとゴミためみたいなのを想像してた。
I don't have a lot of stuff. Thanks to that, moving was easy. Kotori was staring straight at the bike, which had a unique presence in my room.
あなた、足どうかしたの？
I panicked being nestled, frankly. It's no big deal. Looks like she was listening to my conversation with Anchan. I just had a bit of an injury, but look, it's fine now. I'll at least swing my leg to show her.
転校してきたのはその怪我のせいなの？
It's fine, really. Why do you ask?
別になんとなく。
There's no need for you to worry about it.
誰が心配なんてしたのよ。してません。1ミリたりともしてません。じゃあね、時間の無駄だったわ。
Kotori makes a straight face and goes back to her room. You're going again tomorrow, aren't you?
Huh?
To the garage at lunch.
い
I'm not going, is what it felt like she was going to say.
行くわよ。
She answered and panicked as she left my room. Looks like I should make 3 lunchboxes this time. Little brat. Extend the little wings. Which flying? Does it say the same thing every time? Because I cannot remember what the last ones say. Oh, whoops, forgot to mute my mic when I took a drink. Today didn't go well either. Today's breakfast was another dismal failure. All the boarders showed up for breakfast, but the only one who finished a meal was Kaneko. There must be something wrong with it. All I have to do is make meals and clean. What a piece of cake. Is what I thought when I accepted the job as dorm mother, but my confidence is gradually fading.
何しけた面してんだよ、この裏切り者め。
What do you want? Was it too good joining me on the way to school when I was way to come and sling verbal abuse? A few things happened in the dormitory. Dealing with girls can be tough.
そういうことなら俺に聞け。何せ俺今彼女いるもんね。
Yeah, isn't she a freshman at Seisen Girls School? Seisen Girls School is a school for rich girls and is famous even in this neighborhood. Uniform has a reputation for being cute, so fans come from far and wide just to take a look. That's kind of creepy.
エリちゃんって言うんだけどさ、写真見る？
He looks like he's about to show me, so I go along with it. Oh, whoa, she's seriously, she's cute.
だろう？一緒にバンドやってんだ。エリちゃんがボーカルとベースで、俺がギター。
Mabo, you can play guitar.
エリちゃんのために必死に練習した。今じゃインギー並みの早弾きだってできるぜ。
Who? He shows off some great air guitar. Anyway, who the hell is in Glee?
お前さ、前の学校で自転車やってたんじゃねえの？
No, yeah, I was. What about it?
もうやんねえわけ？でもうちには自転車部なんてねえけど。
Yeah, I don't do it anymore.
うん。
Masatsugu's face seemed to say it's got nothing to do with me, though.
でっかい大会で表彰台に上がったんだ。
Did you hear that from Manchan?
アゲハもホタルも今度のレースは応援にくっついてくってあんちゃんに言ってたんだぜ。まあ一応俺もだけどな。
That made me go a bit red. Why?
あ、勘違いすんなよ。俺はお前がブサマに負けるところを見に行くつもりだったわけで。
What is this misunderstanding? There was nothing at all that could be misunderstood. I have no idea why he's blushing.
別に応援なんかするつもりなかったんだからな。
Why are you being so tsundere? Yeah, I get it. Don't get so flustered.
アゲハのやつ悔しがってたぞ。お前のいいとこ見られなくて。お前そういうの分かってんのか？
No, I didn't know. Never thought that I would make it to the podium. Even if I knew it was too far away for me to say come and watch me.
なのにろくに連絡もよこさねえでよ。
Well, same goes for both of us. Besides, I send you a New Year's card every year, didn't I?
あんなコンビニで売ってるプリント済みのやつでか。
What else is he gonna send? Is he gonna make his own? You did the same thing. Anywhere your New Year cards usually arrive at the end of January.
返してもらえるだけありがたいと思えこの。
おお、珍しい二人組発見。
Hi, Gaya.
はよーす。お？どうしたの、マーボー。
Masatsugu is sneakily hiding in my shadow?
別になんでもねえよ。あんま慣れ慣れしくすんなよ。エリちゃんが怒るから。
はいはい。かわいいかわいい彼女ですもんね。
Jokingly, Gaya deliberately keeps her distance from Masatsugu as she walks. Masatsugu comes up beside me and gives me a little poke in the ribs.
さっきの話、アゲハには内緒な。
What thing?
あいつがお前のレース見に行きたがってたって話。
Okay, I got it. Is it the sort of thing that needs to be kept a secret?
何男同士でベタベタしてんの？
ちげえよ。誰がこんなやつだ。ペペ。
Pepe. You gross, you don't have to actually spit.
仲いいね。焼けちゃうわ。
バカアゲハ。
Yeah, don't say weird things like that. Lunchtime. Today I didn't eat my lunchbox early. As I basked in this tiny sense of achievement and got my lunchbox out, Kotori had already disappeared from the classroom. As she looked out into the hallway, she was pacing back and forth as if she were thinking, should I go forward? No, maybe I should go back. Are you waiting for me? Letting out a cry, not really befitting a pretty little girl, Kotori fanned herself with her left hand as if to calm herself down.
脅かさないでくれる？
No, sorry, I only wanted to speak to you, that's all. You're going, aren't you, to the garage?
ええ、そうよ。別にあなたを待ってたわけじゃないけど。
Why are you being like that now? Okay, shall we go? I push her wheelchair on the way.
あ、勝手に押さないで。
Here, hold this, would you? I pass my bag to her.
こら、人を荷物置きみたいにするな。
Stop whining. You'll probably get there faster being pushed.
誰もいないみたい。
The garage was open, but there was no one there. For some reason, I felt like Amane was always here, so it was a little surprising. The air conditioning's not turned on, so it's quite humid. What should we do?
どうするって言われても。
Kotori subconsciously put her hand on her stomach. Shall we have our lunch in here? I made one for you too, Kotori. Well, I mean leftovers from breakfast. Kotori didn't come to breakfast, so she shouldn't have any way of knowing what I made.
それも寮母の仕事なの？
No, I'm just meddling. Put the 3 lunch boxes on the workbench. I went to the trouble of making one for Amane too, though. The air conditioner isn't turned on in the garage, so if I just leave it here, it'll go bad. There's a refrigerator, so I decided to put it in there. If I leave a note in the desk, she'll realize it is in there and eat it, won't she? Oh, could you turn on the electric fan? Kotori turns on the nearby electric fan. What the heck is an electric fan? Aren't they all electric?
エアコンは
I can't find the remote controller. It's probably buried somewhere. We open up the lunchboxes in the area that gets the full force of the wind from the electric fan.
何これカレー
This morning's breakfast was curry. You don't like it?
普通カレーをお弁当にするかな
Yeah, you can complain after you've eaten it. Kotori has a meek look on her face as she moves the cold curry towards her mouth.
冷めてても美味しい
Yeah, it would be good if we had a microwave, though. For a little while, the two of us quietly eat our curry. Today, there is no sheet covering the glider. I gazed at the simple, sleek shape of its body and thought it was beautiful. I imagined the aircraft cutting through the air as it flew. When riding a bicycle, your greatest enemy is the wind.
Huh?
Kotori's face seemed to say, "What is this guy talking about all of a sudden?" But I carry on regardless. The worst thing is when you have a headwind, while it is constantly pushing you back, you have to keep pedaling. I face the wind coming through the electric fan, set to strong, and I remember that feeling a little. The feeling of the wind gradually draining my stamina. That's why when we ride a bicycle, we try to find ways to reduce air resistance. Not just the shape of the bike or the helmet. During the race, we cooperate with the members of other teams and form a group while riding. I thought that when riding a bike, it would be better if the wind wouldn't blow. But this thing rides the wind to fly.
ジェットエンジンもプロペラもないのにね
If we hadn't actually seen it flying that day, even with the real thing right in front of us, we wouldn't have been able to imagine it flying. Speaking of which, Kotori, how do you know so much about gliders? She didn't really know that much about them. That was the first time she'd seen a real one.
別にちょっと本で読んだだけ
Somehow it seems like it's hard for her to answer, so I decided not to question any further. Speaking of books, there's a bookshelf here lined with many books. Looking closely, they are all related to gliders or aircraft. I pick one up and take a look inside. Oh, it's all in English. I can't read it. It's not like my grades in English are bad, but with the level of English I have from studying at school, reading academic papers is really tough. Seems like Kotori is the same.
こっちの本は写真がいっぱい載ってるわ
There was a book that had many photos of gliders, like a catalog. God, there's so many different types. The shape of the wings, the size, and so on. Even with gliders, there's so many different varieties.
でこれ
What's happening in this picture?
山の上を飛んでる
Looks so natural I didn't really notice, but glider is flying high enough that it could look down on the mountain. It can fly that high? Kotori and I, without realizing, both look at the glider sitting over there. With its wings removed, we couldn't really grasp the full size of it, but at a glance, it didn't seem all that different compared to the glider in the photo. Amane had said that it could go above the clouds. I wonder what it feels like to fly through the sky.
きっと最高の気分よ上昇気流に乗って飛ぶなんてまるで鳥になったみたいじゃない
After we finished our lunch boxes, we stayed for a little longer. We spent the time looking at books and admiring the glider. Amane no Amane. When the bell rang, it felt like the time to enjoy ourselves was over, and I felt a little sad.
何かしらこれ
Just as we were about to go back to the classroom, Kotori noticed a photo frame on Amane's desk. I wonder what this is. The weird thing was that there was a photo frame, but no photo inside. An empty photo frame had been placed there. In her case, she probably managed to lose just the photo inside. What's up?
なんでもないわ行きましょうここ暑くてたまんない
When we stepped out from the sauna-like garage, the air outside felt cool. I'm worn out. It's easy to say clean the bathroom, but I never thought it would be such a big job. Plus there's no air conditioning in there, so I'm sweltering. Trouble is, if I don't do this every day during the summertime, the mold will start growing. It's not just about hygiene, it's kind of gross too. There's no way you can take a bath when there's mold growing in there. My cell phone rang. On the display it showed home. Hello?
もしもし葵、私だけど
What's up?
別にどうしてるかと思って。どう？順調？
No, I can't say it's going smoothly. I didn't think much of when I accepted the job, but it turned out to be pretty tough.
そりゃそうよ。楽な仕事なんてないのよ。
Going to school every day and doing the work of the dorm mother is wearing me out. I realized this only after a few days. This is a lot of hard work.
今はその方がいいんじゃない？
Why?
嫌なこと思い出さずに済むじゃない。
Well, if that's what you think, don't talk about it.
それともママが恋しくなった？
A mother like you? She's the kind of mother who loves teasing her son. But did she get me to do the dorm mother job because she was worried about me? So busy that I didn't have time to dwell on things. Speaking in the hallway, the other boarders may have been able to hear me, so I went back to my room. We continue our silly parent-child conversation. My mother is a fiercely independent person and a hard-working career woman. Many things have been happening until recently, well, they're still going on now, and we were living separately. I'm a bit too old to be missing my mother, though. It's enough for me to just speak to her from time to time.
学校の方はどうなの？
It's going fine. Age is there, too.
あげはちゃん、綺麗になったわね。こないだ久しぶりに会ってびっくりしちゃった。
Yeah, me too. She's like a proper girl now.
あら、そんな風に余裕ぶっこいてられるのも今のうちよ。あげはちゃん、これからもっともっと綺麗になるわよ。愛想もいいし、気遣いもできるし、間違いなくモテるわね。
Cut it out. What are you talking
あ
about?
らやだ、口が悪いわね。誰に似たのかしら。
Yeah, you. Would mother usually tell her son to go chasing
それじ
after
ゃ
girls?
頑張ってね。トラブルがあったらすぐ言いなさい。
Sure.
それからもし仕事が大変だったら寮生に負担してもらってもいいのよ。超格安物件なんだからそのくらいしてもらわないと。
I'll think about
そ
it.
れじゃおやすみ葵ちゃん。
She called me that on purpose because she knows I don't like it, and then ended the call. My father is the one who chose to call me Aoi, but it's kind of a girl's name, so I was often teased about it, and it seems she still remembers. Put down my phone, take a look at the boarding students roster. As for the boarders' jobs, cleaning their own room is a given, and then there's cleaning the hallways and entrance, as well as the dining hall. On the other hand, my jobs are to prepare breakfast and dinner, clean up afterwards, clean the bathroom and the garden, and other miscellaneous chores. Yeah, it is actually pretty tough. Maybe I should ask for some help. Even if I can just get them to clean the bathroom, that would be a real lifesaver. Yuka? Yuka, who is in the dining room hall, is the tall fourth year, and the one who has been here the longest. She seems surprised as I call out to her.
何かしら、水瀬くん。
Can I ask you a question? I'll lay out the roster that I was just looking at on the table where Yuka is sitting. Yuka, who should be used to seeing this, looks at it with curiosity. Kotori doesn't have her name on the job roster. Starting with Kaneko, then Yuka, there are 4 names, but Kotori's name is not there.
だってあの子
Yuka looks towards the dining hall door as she speaks.
足が不自由だから。
I see, so that's why, thank you.
いえ。
Yeah, it looks like it does say the same thing each time. The scorching sun comes shining in. Up on the roof with nothing to block the sunlight, it feels even more like I'm being burned. Today is hot as hell. I grumble as I wipe the sweat from my brow. God, those bugs are loud. It's already 7 o'clock. Just before the peak of summer, and the sun is finally shining at full strength. Today is Saturday, so there's no school. Now's my chance to get some of the dorm mother work done. This morning I climbed up on the roof and I'm fixing leaks. This building is in pretty bad condition. heard that the owner collapsed a few days ago. And who is also the caretaker here is an elderly woman. Because it was a girls' dormitory with no guys around, there were quite a few places that had been left damaged. This place is so old that I can't help wondering if originally it was aiming to be registered as a cultural heritage site. The owner, who was a widow, opened the manor house as a student dormitory before I was born, which means that when we were calling this place the Witch's Mansion, students from Keiko Academy were already living here. Since then, the owner had been taking care of the boarding students like they were her own children or grandchildren. However, since the redevelopment plans were brought forward, land prices in Kazagawa have been rising. The owner's sons were hoping to let go of this place, which is one of the reasons why I was brought on to take the dorm mother's job in such a hurry. It might be hard to avoid getting involved in these kinds of adult matters, so I will just quietly go along with the work that I have to do. Alright, that should do it. Finishing the repairs to the roof, I climbed down the ladder. Okay, next is Hat, who was pecking at the soil, had come closer to where I was going to put my feet as I climbed down. This is kind of besides the point, but ducks eat weeds and bugs, so it seems if I just leave him to it, he'll maintain the garden. However, he'll also peck the flowers and so on too, so the person doing the gardening needs to watch out for that. What's up, Hat? Where's your buddy? I have no idea what he's saying, but he definitely looks bored. I'm sorry, but I got work to do. When I get back, I'll give you a bath. The door to Kotori's room was closed. Couldn't hear any sound, and there were no signs that she was awake. Still asleep, huh, sleepyhead? Hey, Kotori. Wake up, Alul. Hey, Miss Alul. I'm gonna do some shopping. Do you want to come with me? Her face seemed to say if this was America and I sued you, you would lose. You're oversleeping. It's a nice sunny day, so let's go outside. It's shopping for the dormitory. You eat too, don't you? Seeing a guy give a great big wave, Kotori makes an annoyed face. Hi, guy. It's fine, there's something I need help with. I had planned from the beginning to meet up with Akea. That's because I want her as a special advisor for today's work. Right, let's go. We arrived at the underground street of the shopping mall. There are many stylish shops in the shopping arcade, and there's also a large supermarket. Push Kotori along in her wheelchair and go around buying the food with the guy. What do we need? Kotori looks like she still doesn't agree with the fact that Agea is with us. She looks at me like she's trying to put a curse on me. Agea came to help come up with a menu for tonight's dinner. Seems that the meals that I make don't appeal to the girls. Because you couldn't carry the bags. Kotori's doing a good job of carrying the green supermarket basket. Agea and I keep slinging more and more ingredients into the basket.
Paprika powder, whole tomato, nama hamu, それから
whole tomato.
掘り込むな
And I'll get some mineral water.
ねえねえ、ポテチ買っていい？
No. Oh, pack of lemon chips. I remember these.
ケチ、後でお金払うから一緒に入れといて。
She slings them in. Also, we'll soon be out of rice. Let's buy some while we're here. With all the ingredients for all the borders, before we knew it, the basket that Kotori was carrying was full.
人をカードみたいにするな。
As she complained, Kotori was very careful not to let the contents of the basket fall out. Don't drop anything.
ちくしょう。ハバネさんは欲しいものない？アイス。
Alright, Piggy. Today's shopping is being paid for with the operating costs of the dormitory, so we can't really buy things we don't need. Having said that, she is helping me out. You can get Bari Bari-kun.
もっと高級なのがいい。労働と報酬が釣り合わないわ。
Have it your way. I decided to treat her to strawberry Haagen-Dazs with my own money. Is this one okay?
そうだね。
We finished the cash register. The food costs about 50% more than usual, but tonight is a special occasion. Ah, jeez, I forgot to buy ground meat.
そんなの使わないよ。
It's for tomorrow. It's a pain to have to keep going to buy food all the time, you know? I'll leave them behind and go back to the store. I search for the meat in the ground meat section. If I can, I want to get one with discount stickers. I thought there aren't any at this time. The cost for the boarders' food is paid on a monthly basis. The dormitory is run as kind of a hobby by the owner, so it's just a rough estimate, but there is an upper limit established as part of the rent agreement. The dormitory's meals follow the creed of as cheap as possible, as tasty as possible. I look at the packs of beef that are lined up on the shelf. $30 for 100 grams. This is a supermarket that celebrity women come to, so sometimes the prices for ingredients are pretty steep. It's okay once in a while, so I'd like everyone to eat this kind of meat. I murmured to myself.
これでいいのかな。
Girl reaches across from the side and slings luxury marbled $30 for 100-gram meat into her basket.
これじゃ足りないかな。ビーフカレーっていうくらいだもんな。
The girl who took the pack showed signs of hesitation, but continued to sling more and more of the luxury marbled meat to the basket. In the end, she took everything that was on the shelf.
これでよしっと。
Are you going to use luxury marbled beef in a curry? Not only that, it's thinly sliced.
What?
I was supposed to have said that on the inside, but because of the shock, I came right out and said it aloud. I mean, if you're making curry, they have meat for curry over there, see?
そんな大きいのカレー食べるときに見ないですよ。
Well, when you stew meat this size, it becomes more tender and much smaller. If you use that kind of thin meat, the fat will melt away and you won't have the trace of it left. In her basket was about 1 kilogram of marbled meat to be used in sukiyaki. Are you going to stew all that in a curry? What a waste of good meat. As I stare at the basket, she looks at me in disbelief.
ごめんなさい。
She seemed embarrassed as she said that and moved over to the fresh fish section. Did I scare her off?
シーフードカレーっていうのもあるんだし、お魚も買った方がいいかな。
Stop talking into my right ear, she said as I watched from a distance her throwing sea bream with the head and tail still on into the basket while I reached for a pack of the cheap pork and beef ground meat.
おいしい。ハバネさんストロベリー派なんだ。私はクッキー&クリームかな。
Cookie and cream.
そう。おいしい？もちろんよ。ねえ。いやよ。まだ何も言ってないんだけど。一口だけでいいから。やあよ。スプーン一つしかないんだから。いいじゃん。女同士なんだから。やったらやあよ。ケチンボン。分かったわよ。一口だけよ。はーい。ハバネさんありがとう。はーん。私のハーゲンダッツが。おっちー。
What are you doing?
いえ。
I finished paying and I'd come back and Kotori was letting Agaya eat her ice cream. Oops. I felt like I'd seen something I wasn't supposed to see.
これは違うのよ。この子がどうしても食べたいって言うから一口だけ食べさせてあげただけで。
I see. Well, it's nice that you two are getting along.
違うったら。ストロベリーもいいな。ねえねえ、もう一口。もう終わり。だって私の分がなくなるもん。
Blushing as she spoke, Kotori continued to wolf down the Hardened Arch. Okay, let's go. Here, take this bag.
重いんだけど私も手伝うよ。アイスのお礼。
Push Kotori's wheelchair and we leave the shopping mall.
ねえ、これどうやって切るの
？Pass that to me, I'll show you how it's done. Her face seemed to say, I get annoyed when people get on their high horse, as she obediently passed me the knife. In a way that Kotori could see easily, I cut the vegetables. Like this.
こっちのピーマンは？
Wouldn't it be best to cut it in half down the middle?
わかった。やってみる。
We'd come back to the dormitory and had begun cooking in the dining hall. He got the Kotori who couldn't reach the stove to cut the vegetables. I'm cooking while Ageha helps and tells me how to do it. It's pretty easy.
でしょ？野菜切って鶏もも肉と一緒に煮込むだけだもんね。
Said Ageha, who had brought the recipe. That Basque-style chicken stew. I couldn't guess what kind of food it would be from just the name, but it is really easy to make. First, you grill the chicken thighs, then fry them with the cut vegetables, and after that, add the canned tomato and broth and leave it to stew. That sounds like a big hot mess. It's a stew that doesn't need to be done precisely. That's the main dish. Next, we prepare the salad and the soup.
わあ。
Even as Hat walks around her feet, quacking, Kotori doesn't seem to notice as she is quietly immersed in what she's doing. She's really concentrating.
案外熱中するタイプだね。
Despite complaining at first, once she gets started, she becomes very serious.
均等に切るのは至難の技ね。
Oh, it doesn't need to be exact. There's a variety in the thickness. It gives a difference in texture.
不均等に切るのね。わかったわ。
She said as she thought about this and that, and then started intentionally cutting the vegetables unevenly. I guess that's what people look like when they get serious. Yeah, how does the soup taste to you?
ちょっと薄いかな。
I'll add salt and pepper. And so the preparations for dinner continued smoothly.
わあ、美味しそう。
One after another, the boarders came into the dining hall. They were surprised at how different the food was to the usual. There's a general idea of meal times for the boarders. Although I usually make meals on a consistent schedule, the time when everybody comes to eat is not set. It's okay if you come late, and it's okay if you don't eat. That's why we often eat at different times. It's the first time since I came here that we've all gathered at the same time like this. Today was the only time that I had told them in advance. Okay, everybody, please take a seat. You too, again.
お邪魔します。なんかすごいね、今日のご飯。ねえ、もう食べていい？お腹ペコペコなんだけど。
And go ahead and enjoy your meal. The boarders looking at each other, cautiously move the food towards their mouths.
美味しい。本当だ、美味しい。
I can hear the word delicious coming from the boarders. It's true, it really is tasty. Rice-style chicken stew. I was the one that had made it, but I didn't know how it would taste, and I imagined that it wouldn't be very good. It was different to the Western or Chinese food that I usually make, and that I normally don't use spices that make it easier to understand the flavor. The meat stewed in the tomato soup was tender and was surprisingly refreshing. More importantly, the flavor of the meat had really been drawn out, so I had no complaints at all about the taste. It's the kind of thing that you eat on a hot summer's day when you don't have much of an appetite.
こりゃいけるわ。 サラダもどうぞ食べてくださいね。
The salad served in a big bowl was divided between everyone. There were cucumbers, tomatoes, and lettuce, and also avocado and mozzarella cheese. I wouldn't eat that if it had tomatoes in it. I cannot stand the taste of raw tomatoes. Even though it was just an elaborate salad, again, the reaction
この
was,
サラダも美味しいね。
I forgot you were even here.
なんか洒落てるし。
Yoko, a second year like me, and Sanae, the third year with the trademark glasses, both seem to really like it.
アゲハちゃんプロデュースだよ。
Everyone made a face that kind of showed they knew that. The truth is that today's meal was made under the advice of Miss
そ
Himagete.
れでアゲハが来てたんだ。自分が食べたい料理を作ってもらっただけなんだけどね。
By the way, it seems like Geha and Ryoko were friends from before. Yeah, the thing is, it seems the food that I made didn't really go down too well with everyone. Apart from Kaneko, all the other boarders looked away for a moment awkwardly.
美味しくないわけじゃないのよ。そうそう。でも量が多いっていうか。
That's why, if there's something you want to say, please talk to me about it, okay? It's a little scary, but I thought I'd try to talk to them about it.
っていうか、一食なのよ。あ、わかる。すっごいわかります、ゆかさん。けど今日の料理はカラフル。
It sure is. There's red, green, yellow, and white, and many other colors, and looks vivid and colorful. The food I usually make is ginger pork, brown, fried rice, brown, curry, yellow, yakisoba, brown, Neapolitan pasta, red, and so on, but it's all basically comprised of a single color.
葵くんの料理も豪快で嫌いじゃないけどね。美味しくないわけじゃないのよ。でもほら、最近暑くて食欲もそんなにないし、途中で飽きちゃう。
Everyone's really kind, aren't they? They really care about my feelings. Just because of that, I was unnecessarily worried. For a guy like me, who went to a sports-focused boys' school and lived together with his dad in kind of a bachelor pad, that was always enough. Never even thought about the color of food. Somehow that kind of detail is really important in a girls' dormitory.
これ本当に美味しいよ。おかわりしたいくらい。
Everyone seems satisfied. Feels like this is the most they've opened up to me so far. If I'm gonna say it, now's my chance. Can I just say something? I stand up and get everyone's attention. Please listen as you eat. This is about the boarders' chores. Would it be alright to increase them a little? I'm a student too, so it's pretty tough for me. For example, if I could get you guys to clean the bathroom, it would be a really big help. Everyone looked at each other as if they were trying to figure out what the others were thinking. To be honest, no one's gonna be happy about increasing their chores, but...
わかった。
As Yuka the oldest responded, the others nodded in agreement.
村瀬くんが大変なの見ていてわかってるから。実はちょっと気になってました。屋根の雨漏りも直してくれたしね。
In return, I'll try harder than ever to make good food for you.
こんな美味しいご飯毎日食べられるんだ。いいなあ、涼子。私もここに住もうかな。それだけでいいの？
No, that and one other thing. That's what I really wanted to say. I think we should get Kotori to do some things too. Kotori, who was sitting at the end of the table, the furthest away from everyone, who looked uncomfortable while she ate, was surprised to hear her name called. Everybody looked around at Kotori.
でも、Amaneさんは
Her arms work fine, you know. She has a walking disability, but she can use her hands. There are things that she can do.
今日の料理だって手伝ってくれたんだよね。あなたたちが無理やり付き合わせただけよ。
Well, you seem like you were really into it. This had a big impact on everyone who until just now had been eating the food and saying how delicious it was. They looked at her like they were impressed because they seemed kind of embarrassed. Thanks to Kotori helping, we were able to get the dinner preparations done easily. If that's the case, then maybe we can add another chore. I don't dislike cooking, but to prepare food for several people is physically quite demanding. I don't know if she's supposed to be up there. I think she might just be bugging out again. I don't know. Yep, looks like she's just bugging out again. If that's okay with Kotori, could you help me prepare the meals?
別にいいけど、そのくらいなら。
Thank you. I say while Kotori looks away and quietly nods without saying anything. It's a little different than the other chores, but in order to be fair, I want Kotori to help out where she can from now on. Everyone still had their reservations about the whole thing, so for now they just quietly looked at each other. Even so, until now, Kotori and the other boards have had quite a distant relationship. However, I'm the one who understands the situation the least, or rather the one who understands it the most.
賛成。
Kotori raised her hand, and the others followed.
それができるんならすごくいいと思うわ。私もそう思います。
Yeah, she's
ゆか
gone.
さん。私前からちょっと変だなって思ってました。
So from tomorrow, let's do our
こ
best.
ちらこそよろしく、寮母さん。小鳥ちゃんもよろしくね。
Kotori was moody until the end, but she kept herself from shouting abuse at me, which I know she's good at. She seemed to understand my intentions. Oh, thanks for today, Age. You really helped me out.
いいって。葵が困ってる時、私が助ける。普通なことでしょ。
Same goes for you too. That came waddling down from down the corridor.
おお、アヒルさん、どうしたの？見送りに来てくれたの？わが。
Hat flapped his wings towards Agaya. Oh, maybe he's saying thanks for helping Kotori. Those are his feelings as her housemate.
じゃあ、部屋に戻ったら伝えて。今日は楽しかったねって。わー。
The way he replied made it seem like he completely understood what Agaya had said, and Hat wiggled his tail as he waddled off.
かわいい。
Okay, take care on your way back.
またね。ハット、どこ行ってたの？はい、おやつのキュウリ。かー。ねえ、聞いてハット。今日ね、私ご飯作るの手伝ったのよ。鶏肉のなんとか煮込みって言うんだけど、みんな美味しいって言ってた。私も食べたけど本当に美味しかったの。すごいでしょ。もうすぐ今日が終わっちゃう。楽しかったな。
These screens are so quiet. Oh, and we're back to this, and this is where we're going to end it. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.